Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to azizdrives. I'm not sure if we can call this a car, but it's certainly one of the most interesting topics that we have this year. Let's talk a little bit about the Microlino, or Micro as the company. Micro was a company that we in Switzerland knew about because they were building one of the best scooters ever, like the one that you do kickbacks with it and it just breaks your ankle. And they decided to do something fancy and something new and brought out the Microlino. Now it's clear from where the design originates. It's originally from the BMW Isetta, right? The car that saved BMW in the 50s. It is pretty much the same, just modernized. So we have this LED strip here in the front. Then we have this LED light left and right, which is also parallel to that, the left and rear mirrors. Very funny. And the design is literally, it's just a funny little thing to look at. When we look at it from the side, it's quite obvious that this car will fit in every parking space you can imagine. Every city, everywhere on the world, this car will find a parking space, right? The size is very humble, 2.50 meters length, 1.50 meters wide. And then when you come here to the back, you will see that it is actually designed like a Porsche 911 992. We have the tail brake, the LED from one side to the other, and it really reminds me a little bit about a 992. Now, talking about size, we have to talk about the weight. It's not really a lightweight for such a small car, 530 kilograms, because it is electric, and that is one positive thing, but also a drawback. Now, it has 16.9 horsepower and 18 newton meters of torque, which is massive, okay? It's incredible. Accelerates from 0 to 50 kph in 5 seconds and tops out at 94 kph. However, the drawback is this. You can only charge it with DC, which will take 5.5 hours to charge fully. This is the long range model, which has 230 kilometers, as it says here, as the range. Now 5.5 hours is really a long time, so you have to put it in a wall box when you finish driving it. Let's have a look at the interior. For that, you open the car up and then you have a little button here hidden behind the Microlino logo. You just press it and it opens up for you, just like a Rolls-Royce. Now, the original Isetta would have had the whole steering wheel and the column, all of that attached to the door. Now here they went a little bit of a different mode, which makes it kind of more difficult to get in, right? So to get in, you have to stand in the car like this, seat yourself, and then move yourself to the driver's position, which then is actually not bad. I mean, look at that. I have plenty of space. I can move the seat backward, forward. It's really not a bad thing. But I think you should come to the interior so I can talk about all of those things that you have to see here. As you can see, I have a sporty steering wheel and some luxury elements like this window that I can open. I also have a lot of space, for example, for this power bank to put in left and right. I have the speaker right here. It is a Bluetooth speaker from Micro itself. So you can basically just come in the car and then connect it via Bluetooth and charge it here over this USB-C cable. Here is an extra space for it and so on. Here is your phone, very nice. And you even have a phone case here, a phone holder for your phone. Very cool. Then, technical wise, there is not a lot going on, right? You have the speedometer, which is digital. In the front, you have a little touchscreen here that you can adjust some things, open the trunk, the brightness of the light inside the interior, and your fan. Let me press it once. You can hear it pretty loud and clear. 3 times. This is the max speed. It's actually just a fan. There's no climate control in here, but you also have a heater. So for example, in winter, you would press this button so it gets a little bit of heat inside the cabin. Then you have your heater for the front window and a heater for the back window. You can open the trunk from here. Talking about trunk, we should look at the trunk space because that is a very surprising thing. We have the gear lever here on the left side. Reverse, neutral, and drive. To apply it, you have to press the brake pretty hard, then it gets it and drives off. We have this storage compartment here on the left side. Here, a storage compartment or a drink holder, for example. Then on this side, we have the Microlino box, right? Combined with the USB-C cable to charge it. Here also one, and on the side, a couple more storage compartments. Then, here is the vent. Very funny. USB-C, USB-B charging port, the touch screen with the trunk opener and the fan and the heater regulator and heater, very good. Then the speedometer, also okay. The honk, funny little honk. Then we have some different stuff like the water for your windscreen wipers here. Just open that part up, that's it. Put it back in, tuck, that's it. Then when you open the door, you have this, which is your brake fluid. Also very funny place, but very simple and easy held. Now getting out was a little bit of a confusing thing for me because I didn't find the door latch, right? There's no door latch here. It is hidden behind this bar, a little small button, you press it and the door opens. Now, fresh air. Let's go to the trunk because it really is surprising. And it's more than some sports cars. Look at that. We have one bag in here. We have a second bag in here. We have my business bag here. I mean, that's 230 liters, which is plenty for all your daily activities. It's really, really good. Now, why is that so? Well, basically, they removed the back seats that the original Isetta would have, and they choose this two-seat layout. Now we have plenty of space here. Not bad at all. We haven't finished talking about luxurious elements in the interior. For example, I can move the seat back and forward with this sofa style, right? This two-seater layout. Then we have plenty of charging ports, USB-C in the front and two USB-C on the side of the door or of the chassis, so what you would call it. And then we have even a sunroof. Now when you open it, it's really like a cabriolet. And fun fact, the supplier of the sunroof is basically the same as in the Porsche 911 Cabrio, which makes it very good isolated from the outside. Now for that, let's take it for a drive. What is the perfect use case for a car like the Microlino, right? It isn't really for your daily drive. It's not a big car where you can transport your family. What is it actually good for? And how does it drive? Well, very simple answer. The Microlino to me is like a tender boat, right? Imagine you have a super yacht, okay? And there is always a small boat that is carrying people to the shore and so on. Exactly that is the Microlino, just for the road. Imagine you have SUVs at home, supercars or whatever. You have your car and you don't want to use it for every single thing, right? I mean, it has to warm up. You don't want to break the car. You don't want to have to change the oil every 5,000 kilometers. You have a Microlino. That's it. It's perfect for the roads in between, for your 30 kilometers of drive. It's actually a quite comfortable car and it can be somewhat sporty. Now, what I would do to enjoy this car is very simple, and which I will show you right now. Okay? Just put your glasses on, turn this roof open, press sport button and accelerate. Now it isn't the fastest car obviously, but we will top out at the top speed of 94 kph. Look at that. And it doesn't feel unstable doing it. It doesn't feel unstable doing it, let me tell you. It really doesn't. It is a quite pleasant car to drive. And that is what I like about it, right? Will you drive long distances with it? Never. Is it good for a daily drive? Sort of. You could drive it daily, but you probably won't do that, right? Because daily drives most of the times have to do with Autobahn drives. I don't want to drive this car on the Autobahn, especially not at 95 kph and everybody's passing me at 130. Is it good for the city drive? Absolutely. This is the best car for the city drive, man. You just go wherever you want. No search for parking space. No need to watch out for that big hub when going into a parking lot, right? No watching out for speed bumps. Everything works fine and it has quite some space. There's easily a second person that can fit right next to me, and you have an actual usable boot of 230 liters of volume. That is fabulous. You can move the seat back and forth. Look at that. Look at how much knee space I have. That's better than the G-Class, man, in all honesty. Now, it really is nice to sit in. People love it. Everybody reacts fantastic. Everybody gives you a thumbs up. It's nice. That is what electro cars should be about, in my opinion. This is actually ecological. Other cars are not as ecological as this. This is actually a great car to drive. Will the police turn around? Let's see. It looks like they're turning around. I apologize, but I have to go. I have cameras all around the car, so forgive me, but I have to run. When you need a parking space like here, it's absolutely no problem whatsoever. It's really the easiest thing to do with this car. Finding a parking space, no problem. Here is one, bam. Just put it in, that's it. No need to watch out, no need for anything. Put it in reverse, bam. You're in, man, you're in. That was it. That was it. I have parked and arrived. Beautiful, beautiful to experience. I really like it. The only drawback is, of course, as I told you, the price and the charging times. But the driving was pretty nice. Now we come to the conclusion. We have driven it, we have talked about it, we have looked at it. There are some very positive things, but there are some drawbacks. Let's talk about the positive aspects first. I like the concept. It is a very fun concept, and I like that they brought back the design of the BMW Isetta. It's very fun, and it reminds me a little bit of a tender boat, right? For a big yacht, right? You don't want to go everywhere with your yacht. If you have one, you get that small boat, driving passengers to the shore and so on. And this car has the similar concept. You have your cars at home, you have maybe a 10-kilometer drive, you don't want to take your car for every single activity. You take this. Now the drawbacks are the following. It isn't really a car, to be honest. It doesn't even go into the category of a car. You can hear all the sounds, like the windscreen wipers, for example, and the biggest one is the price. Now this is the top range model, and it comes in at a whopping 22,000 bucks, and that's Swiss francs, which is very expensive for this car, to be honest. I mean, for 22k you can buy a lot of different things, right? If it was somewhere priced, let's say 15 to 16,000, I could understand, but 22k is really a lot for this car. But that's the only thing. I think if you're driving one of these, you understand the value and you don't really care, right? But to me, that is an expensive thing. So that's about it, friends. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Check out our other stuff and see you soon.